Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you wherever you are in the world. It's great to have so many of you with us today, and I see that there's more joining all the time, so that's fantastic. So my name is Sam Woolway, and I am the Summer School Manager for the University of Southampton. Now, if you haven't already, please be sure to write your name and where you're from in the chat, because it'd be a really great idea to know where you are from today and who's joining us. Now, before we begin, I would just like to let you know that we are recording today's session to later make available on our website. And so without further ado, I'm excited to welcome you all to this information session on the University of Southampton Summer School for 2024. Now, during this session, I'll be telling you about the University of Southampton as a whole, before giving you an overview of the summer school, including your course choices and your accommodation. I'll then be handing over to our module lead on the White Project Zero Waste Design for Fashion, Delia Crow, just to speak a little bit more about what you may be studying this summer before allowing you to take part in a question and answer session at the very end. Now, just a quick note to say that while I'm presenting, I won't be able to see the chat very well. But please do feel free to type your questions in as we go along, and we'll answer them all at the end. Now, the University of Southampton is a global centre for excellence in research and education, and it's a founding member of the Russell Group. So this means that we are a research-focused university with researchers and academics who are addressing some of today's biggest challenges through global partnerships and using state-of-the-art facilities. So we are the 17th highest ranked UK university within the Times Good University Guide of 2024 and 81st in the world according to the QS World University Rankings 2024. We have several courses in the top 100, including being 3rd in the UK for music, 16th in the UK for fashion and textiles, 17th in the UK for finance, and 23rd in the UK for business. Now, all of these schools are part of the summer school for 2024, so you can guarantee that you'll be getting a top education. The university also has a very vibrant international student community with over 10,000 international students from more than 130 countries during term time. But even in the summer, there will be plenty of opportunities to meet UK and international students while you're here and to make those friends and contacts which can last a lifetime. Southampton itself is situated right on the south coast of the UK. It's a port city, the same port that the Titanic sailed from over 100 years ago, and it has a very large train station with links all across Great Britain. So from Southampton Central train station to London, it takes around 80 to 90 minutes, meaning that the capital city is always accessible without having to pay those London prices for accommodation or general living while you are in Southampton. Southampton also has its own airport with regular flights to mainland Europe. So if you are one of the lucky people who can get to the EU without any kind of additional visa, you can easily get to places like France, Spain, Germany, the Netherlands, and many more places very quickly and very easily. Now, Southampton is also a multi-campus university with different classrooms all throughout the city. But most of the summer school will be taking place on these two campuses. So we have our main Highfield campus, and then we also have our sustainable fashion course, which will take place on our specialist arts campus in Winchester, just around 30 minutes bus ride away from Highfield. Now, both campuses boast really green, relaxing spaces, with Highfield campus offering access to our sports centre and one of the largest university libraries in the south of England. Meanwhile, our Winchester campus houses the WSA gallery and a more specialist library to help with your course you may be studying there. So, onto the summer school itself then. So, the programme takes place between the 6th and the 27th of July. So that's 3 weeks from Saturday to Saturday, including an arrivals day on the 6th, as well as a day to allow you to depart on the 27th. During those 3 weeks, you'll be taking one course of your choice. Each course is based on Southampton term time modules with the equivalent of 15 Southampton credits in terms of content and teaching hours. Now that's equal to 7.5 ECTS or 3 to 4 US semester hours. However, please do speak to your home institution to ensure that credits can be added to your program of study before you apply. And we just ask that so that you are not, to avoid any disappointment that may occur. So you'll also be able to take part in extracurricular activities such as our continuous professional development workshops hosted by our careers department. There'll be on-campus activities and walking tours of Southampton and London, all of which is included within the tuition fee. At the end of the program, you can successfully complete your assessment, and then you'll receive a transcript from the university with all other students who have attended at least 80% of classes receiving a certificate of completion. So our fees for the summer school are on the screen right now. As you can see, the tuition fee is £2,250, and that includes our application fee, tuition for a full 3-week program, and any field trips associated with your course. It also includes that social program, including the continuous professional development workshops mentioned before, the walking tours, Southampton and London, but also a bus pass to help you get around Southampton, and most importantly, a University of Southampton hoodie as well. You can also see that if you apply before the 29th of February, so you got a few days to squeeze this one in, we are offering a 10% discount of tuition, taking that price down to £1,980 plus the application fee. The same discount is available for groups of 10 or more students throughout the entire application process, but we don't have a deadline on that one. Applications are open now and will close on the 10th of May. Okay. And we also offer accommodation for an additional £1,245.75. You'll be offered accommodation in our Glen Eyre halls of residence, this as the optional extra. These are the same rooms as our term time students stay in, so you'll be getting an authentic University of Southampton experience while you're studying with us. Glen Eyre itself is about 10 minutes walk away from Highfield campus, and it features a 24-hour reception, a fitness suite, and many other useful facilities for you to use while you're here. All of our rooms are single occupancy, which means you don't have to worry about roommates at all. They also have a private bathroom and a shared kitchen and common area shared between 6 to 10 students. The price also includes breakfast every day and dinner Monday to Friday. Okay, if you require any additional, if you have any additional requirements for your accommodation, such as same-sex accommodation or it being wheelchair accessible, things like this, then they are available upon request. Okay, so for 2024, we'll be offering 4 modules, as you can see on the screen. We have composition and sound practice as research. This is our music module. International corporate governance, international entrepreneurial finance, and the White Project, zero waste design for fashion. So I'm going to talk about those top 3 now. And then after my part of the presentation, Delia will talk to you more about her module, which is the White Project. Okay, so in composition and sound practice as research, you'll embark on a captivating and intellectual journey that fuses the realms of sound, storytelling, and ethnographic research, delving into the innovative intersection of qualitative research methods, sound art, and composition to investigate and represent multifaceted human experiences. You'll be encouraged to adopt an interdisciplinary approach, drawing from the fields of anthropology, music, cultural studies, and beyond as you work to construct meaningful layered narratives that engage the senses, the intellect, and emotions of your audience. Practical assignments will encourage you to use soundscapes, interviews, field recordings, and more as tools for crafting ethnographic representations. International corporate governance will dive into the interests of a company's many stakeholders, such as shareholders, management, customers, suppliers, financiers, government, and the community, but all within an international context. You'll gain a detailed understanding of the decisions facing firms over optimal structure of executive compensation and gain an advanced understanding of how legal and political systems and institutional frameworks share or shape rather corporate governance. For international entrepreneurial finance, you'll be introduced to essential financial concepts and techniques associated with the financing of entrepreneurial startup ventures, along with financing methods and financing entities such as informal business angels financing, as well as more formalized venture capital and private equity early staged financing. So you'll be able to show a detailed understanding of the decisions facing firms over optimal structure, capital structure, and be able to contrast stock markets versus banks and debt markets in terms of financing decisions. Now, more information on these and all of our courses are available on our website. There's a QR code down at the bottom of the slide here to lead you there. As you can see, 2024 has a real variety of courses, all taught by University of Southampton academic staff and delivering a high quality experience which can be enjoyed by everyone, regardless of your current or previous field of study. And lastly, from me, a very important slide about our entry requirements. But all of you must be at least 18 years old by our arrivals day on the 6th of July, 2024. So that means that you are welcome to apply while you're 17, but you must have been you must have been born before the 6th of July, 2006. However, having said that, there is no real upper age limit to this course. So whether you're currently studying, already graduated, or in another chapter of your life entirely, you are more than welcome to apply. And as long as you are over 18, your age will not impact our decision on your application. If you are a current student or a recent graduate, we ask that you send through a recent transcript in English shortly after your application. Now, this will help us assess your academic grades and your English ability. If you are from a country where English is not your official language and you have not been receiving instruction in English for the last 2 years, you must also send through proof of English language, such as an IELTS certificate or equivalent, with a minimum total of 6.5 overall and a minimum of 6.0 in each component. So this must be dated within the last 2 years, though we will also accept other qualifications such as Duolingo. Please do check the university website for a full list of what we accept, and I'll be putting a link to that in the chat after I've finished speaking. Students, all of you are also urged to check your visa requirements before you make any travel plans. Because of the short length of the program, you will be able to enter the country on a standard visitor visa. However, depending on where you're from, this may need to be applied for before you arrive in the UK. Okay, so please do check that. So as a recap then, the summer school takes place between the 6th and the 27th of July 2024 with £2,250 for tuition and that 10% discount for groups and early applications. And guaranteed accommodation, including breakfast every day and dinner 5 days a week for £1,245.75. There will be an included social program with continuous professional development workshops. and walking tours of Southampton and London. Really, most importantly, 4 courses to choose from. So choose one of these: composition and sound practice as research, international corporate governance, international entrepreneurial finance, and the White Project, zero waste design for fashion. So on this slide at the bottom, there is a QR code, takes us to our website. On the left, you can see our website address and also our Instagram username. Please do check us out on there, and also go to our website just to find out a bit more information about the things I've said today. For now, I'm going to stop sharing my screen and I am going to hand over to Delia, who is going to talk more about the White Project, zero waste design for fashion.
Hi, Sam. Thank you very much.
Hello.
Okay, I will share my screen. Okay, so is that filling the screen? Can you see that okay?
Yeah, see that okay?
Yeah, okay. And that's all you can see, isn't it? Just the presentation. Sorry, because I can only see, I can't see anybody anymore.
Yes.
Okay. So thank you, Sam, and thank you, Daisy. And hello, everybody. It's really great to see so many people from different places. So that's really lovely. I'm just going to talk briefly about the summer school that I'm going to be running at Winchester School of Art. And I think I've probably got some information in here that Sam has already talked about. Oh, hold on, sorry, I'm just thinking about. Oh, I can't move my. Sorry, one second, I can't move my slides. Ah, there you go. Okay, so as Sam said, we are a Russell Group University, and I think that's what's special about us as an art school is that we are a Russell Group University. We're an art school, kind of a proper art school, but within the Russell Group University system, which means that the staff are all either researchers or they are in industry or they have come from industry. So I have come from industry. So we have those links. We are really investing a lot of money into the school. We are doing really well at the moment. We are actually expanding into the city of Winchester because we are very successful. And so things are really building. So that's really lovely. We have a very diverse cohort at the art school. And from a point of view for Winchester School of Art, so we have a history of over 150 years. We are one of the very few specialist art schools in the Russell Group, which makes us quite unique. And we are an hour from London. So as Sam said, you get all the advantages of being near to London and being able to be close to London. You can go to Paris for lunch, you can go to Paris for the day. So we're very lucky, we're very well connected. Okay, sorry, I'm having trouble moving my slides. Oh, okay. So the city of Winchester. So Winchester is England's ancient capital. It's the seat of Alfred the Great. The cathedral was built in 1079. It's one of the largest in Europe. We are quite a small city. We are a really beautiful small city. There's about 50,000 people here in the city centre and more in the community in general. We have a vibrant high street with lots of cafes and bars. We have cinema, we have a theatre, lots of lovely independent shops. And as I said, there's a lot of investment ongoing into the campus, the staff, the city of Winchester by the school. So this is an image of the school. So you can see it's a lovely green campus in a really nice space. So to talk about the White Project. So the White Project is a project that I have run for my MA students. So I was the programme leader for MA Fashion Design for 11 years. I have just stepped down in the last few months, which is why I now have time to offer a lovely summer school like this. So this is a project that I've run with my students for several years. And the reason for that is that my area is fashion and sustainability. And that, for me, covers a very broad range of things. So sustainability in fashion is not about recycling or recycled polyester bottles making fabric. It's a lot more than that. So it includes everything from farming to transport to waste to, you know, consumption to everything. So because it's such a large subject, I just had to find just one idea that a student can concentrate on, just to really start you thinking about things in a different way. And so I designed a project called Zero Waste Fashion Design Project. So the point of the project is to work in a way that you are producing no waste, obviously. So I will be showing you some examples of how you can do that. But the other thing is it's a white project. The reason is that we use only white fabric is so that you can really concentrate on the design of what you're doing. So whether it's a silhouette, whether it's a texture, whether it's making a textile. But using only white means that you're really focusing on what you're doing. You're not distracted by anything. It's very easy for students to be distracted by colour, by print, by different accessories. So this is quite a pure project. So some of the things that we will be doing. So we will have a library induction. As Sam said, we have a specialist library at Winchester School of Art. It's absolutely wonderful. And we have the most amazing journals, special collections. We have artists' books. So we will do something in the library, just an induction, but then maybe a fun little workshop. We will be doing a research day out, which I call Textures of Winchester. So that will be walking around Winchester because it's very beautiful and a very ancient city with a lot of sort of inspirational things to look at. We will be thinking about critical thinking for design. So research, critical thinking, you know, how thinking about being, I suppose, being thoughtful about what you're doing. So having a purpose. We will be looking at zero waste design methods, how to turn research into design. And we will also be doing a day trip to London. So this is in addition to the trip that you will do with the General Summer School. And I think we will be going to see an exhibition maybe, or going to some really lovely fashion stores, because I think, again, that can be really inspiring for you. So as I said, this is an image of our library, and it is a really fantastic space, lots of journals, lots of magazines going back to the 80s and 90s, so you can really get some inspiration there. So textures of Winchester. So these are just a few images of things in Winchester where I think what we have in Winchester, we're very well known for flint walls. So you can see the texture of the walls. And we have a lot of the very, very old architecture. And so, excuse me, we will be having a look around Winchester and just taking photographs, doing some drawings, doing some sketches, and just in general, just having a nice, inspiring sort of day or morning out. So the material that we will use is called Tyvek. It's white Tyvek, and Tyvek as a fabric is something that is used actually in building. It's actually an insulating material, but you could call it washable paper, and it is used in fashion as well. And the reason I chose to use this material is it is recyclable. It becomes really soft as you handle it. So it starts off like paper, but as you work with it and stitch it, it becomes softer. It's really easy to work with. It does not fray. There's no grain, so it doesn't matter how you use it. And obviously the fact is that you're going to be coming to an art school, you're going to be working and thinking about fashion and textiles, but you don't have to have any experience. So if you have experience of sewing, fantastic. We can work with you on making some small design pieces. If you have no experience, you can just do some weaving, you can knit with this, you can cut it and re-put it together. It's a really easy fabric to work with. You can sew it, you can do lots of different things with it. So that's the reason that it really is an easy fabric to work with, and anybody can work with this fabric, and it's cheap. So that makes it, I mean, that makes it more sustainable for me as well. I don't want my students in the past, I don't want them spending a lot of money. So when we have this, it's a cheap way of working, but it also gives you results very quickly. And we will be providing the Tyvek for you as well, so you don't need to worry about getting it. So just a few examples of, I mean, these are my students' work, but this is the sort of thing that you will be looking at, which is thinking about, you know, what is zero waste fashion design? Why may we need something like this? You know, what is the point of considering sustainability in fashion? And we will be talking about waste and overconsumption, and it's just an introduction to thinking about things in a different way. So again, just a few examples of what you can do with Tyvek. So for example, you can cut it to make patterns. So if you cut it, for example, you cut circles, that creates a pattern, but you then have to use the circles as well. So the point of the project is that you can use the material in any way you want, but you have to use all of it. So you can use as much as you want or as little as you want, but you cannot throw any of it away. So for example, if you cut circles, you can see down here on the right hand side, you can actually use those, stitch them together to create a brand new design. And then you've got a really good use of the fabric. Or you can cut it, so you can just cut lines in it and then sort of stretch it, and it becomes a different texture as well. Got some other examples. So again, folding it is a really good way of working. So some of the students have been looking at origami and folding and pleating, because that's a way that you can create three-dimensional shapes very easily with no experience, with no need for a sewing machine. So it can be pleated, or you can actually stitch some fabric detail, so you can make a really lovely texture with the fabric. And then if you are interested in draping or working in 3 dimensions on a mannequin, we have mini mannequins and we have bigger full-size ones. And again, you can just fold the fabric, you can pin it to the mannequin, you can create shape very easily. So you really can be as ambitious as you want to be, and it really is almost about creating a sculpture in a way. So you don't have to be able to draw. If you draw, that's fine. You can use that as a method. You don't have to be able to draw or design or illustrate or any of those things, because the fabric creates a shape itself, and then you will be recording that with photographs and test pieces. So again, just a couple of things that students have done in the past. So as you can see on the right hand side, you can cut it to create this sort of stretchable shape. You can actually pad it, and it pads really well. So you can make quite a big padded shape with Tyvek, and it works absolutely beautifully. And then you can see on the left hand side where you can actually take the fabric and cut it into strips, and then you can knit it, or you can weave it, you can cut it so it becomes like a fringe fabric. So you can see the different things that you can do with this fabric. So previously I have done this as a summer school, but pre-pandemic, so quite a long time ago. And you can see the students working together in the studio there. And on the left-hand image, you can see that I provide the students with this concertina sketchbook. And it means that you have a place to put your work, to put your research, to put your drawings, to write your ideas. But it also produces this really lovely document that we will be able to use as an exhibition at the end of the week or the 3 weeks. But it's also something you can take away. You can use if you do want to apply for an art school, and you can use this as part of your portfolio. So you will leave with this really lovely artifact. And that is it. So really, just to recap, you don't have to have any previous experience. The course will consist of seminars, some lectures, but it's going to be quite active. It's not me just talking at you. There will be other people involved. You will be working with your hands, you will be making things, we will be going for walks, we will be being inspired by outside things. So it's going to be really fun, really interesting, and it's actually a really lovely project. So I hope I haven't talked too much, and I hope that's given you a sense of what you can expect. And I will stop sharing my screen so that I can see if there are any questions. Okay.
All right, that's fantastic. Thank you, Delia.
You're welcome.
Just to say as well, so I went to Delia's office earlier in the month, I think, or last month, and she's got all of the previous work out on like a clothes rack and things. And yeah, the pictures in that presentation were great, but I don't think they really do it justice when you see them in real life. They are really impressive. So it's fantastic stuff.
Thank you. Yeah, they are.
Welcome.
They're gorgeous.
Okay. So Daisy has done a very good job of answering some questions that are already in the chat. There have been a couple of that I've answered too. But if anyone has any more questions, now is the time to ask. Feel free to pop on the microphone or the camera if you want to, or if you'd rather, just type them in the chat, and then we'll go through them. If you do have anything and you don't want to ask now, or you can't think of it right now, then please do contact us on summer@southampton.ac.uk. Again, our website is southampton.ac.uk/international_summer_school. I put that in the chat too. Yep, as Daisy said, we're happy to answer any questions you have, whether that be right now or in the email. I am getting the impression that people don't have questions now, so I think now would be a good time to say goodbye. We'll end this call. Thank you very much for joining us. It's been a pleasure speaking to all of you. Thank you very much to Delia for her presentation, and thank you to Daisy for manning the chat as well. Much appreciated. Thank you very much. I hope to see you all soon.
Yeah, thank you from me as well. Thank you for coming along. So
thank you, Eunice. All right. Goodbye, everybody.